Hello, everybody. I am Father Balmax Pereira of St. Joseph Vaz College, and today I am here to deliver a lecture on coastal mangrove ecology for first year BSc students in botany. We are going to deal with principles of coastal ecology, and under this, we are dealing with the module vegetation and ecological importance of sand dune. Now, what is a sand dune? We are going to see it in the outline, the sand dune vegetation, and we are also going to understand the ecological importance of this sand dune vegetation. We expect to learn the term sand dunes. We will explore the relationship between the sand dunes and vegetation and also evaluate the ecological importance of sand dune vegetation. And finally, we will cite the examples of coastal sand dune species. So, what are the sand dunes? Sand dunes basically are large amounts of sand which are built over long periods of time. And normally they are located immediately behind the active beach zone. We have gone to the beach and we have seen the beach, how it is. So, just behind the beach zone, we have the sand dune. And sand dune provides the foundation for unique flora and fauna. It also acts as a natural barrier to the destructive forces of winds and waves. If we go and see at the sea, it is the first line of defense against the coastal storms and beach erosion that takes place. You can have a look at this diagram where we see the ocean, we see the beach and the berm, we see the frontal dune, the back dunes, and after the dunes, we have the marshes. So basically, this is how the sand dunes are and how they are formed. In order to form the sand dune, you need everything large. A large supply of sand, a large flat beach, a large tidal range to give time for the sand to dry. It also requires onshore wind, that is the wind that comes from sea to the land, so that sand be moved to the back of the beach. An obstacle is required so that dune is formed against some obstacle, maybe a pebble, a big pebble, or a wood, or a tree that is fallen, something that stops the sand from going backwards. You can see in this diagram how the sand dune is formed on a beach. We see different type of movements of soil. We see erosion and accretion, and this is made possible by either the wind transport or the wave action. Wind transport, that we call as aeolian transport, will take the sand towards the land when the wind is coming from the sea to the land. As the wind moves and as the wave action takes place, erosion will be occurring or accretion. Accretion means collecting of the soil and erosion means drifting of the soil. So as it is formed, you can see in the diagram, there is a line over here. This is a beach line. So soon after the wave action starts the formation of the sand dune. And the vegetation that comes forms the line, a drifting line, from which the vegetation will start taking shape on a sand dune. You can see the shape of the sand dune as well. There is an embryonic dune that is just starting. Because of the winds, there is shifting of the dune. The dune will shift from one place to another as the wind might come from the seaside or the land side. Finally, at the back, we have a fixed dune. And that is where we see a lot of vegetation. So in the sand dune and vegetation, we see there is an interaction. How the sand dune and the vegetation interact with each other. Now the sand dune creates a habitat not only for vegetation but also for the fauna. As the sand is gathered by accretion, vegetation takes hold on the sand dune. And vegetation in return, which we can call as critical reciprocal interaction, vegetation helps the sand dune to build up, and it promotes geomorphological stability in the sand dune. And that is how the sand dune remains in the place. Otherwise, by wind action or by wave action, the sand dunes would have been destroyed. Vegetation actually occurs in zones on the beach and the dunes. You can see here the different type of zones that we can put together. You have a beach area over here. This is a wave action. You can see here the wave. So as soon as the beach area ends, you can see here the vegetation. Now the pioneer zone, this is the pioneer zone over here. In this pioneer zone, soon after the beach zone, you get primary dune species. Now these species will be the ones which can stand the harsh conditions of maybe salt sprays, or it can be a sand jet that is coming up due to the wave action. So in this pioneer zone, we will have the species that can stand up any type of harsh conditions. Little further, we have the frontal dune, and on this dune, that is on this zone, we will have the secondary dune species, which are little higher species than the first ones, that is the primary dune species. And as we go further in the third zone, that is the hind dune, as we have seen in the first diagram, there we get the tertiary dune species. And these tertiary dune species normally create lot of humus. It creates lot of biomass, and that is how it helps lot of fauna to take its habitat in this region. So this is how the vegetation will grow in zones on a beach and the dune. So why it is important? Ecologically, the sand dune vegetation is very, very important, and it plays very important role in maintaining the integrity of the sand dune ecosystems, as it holds the sand together. The adaptation that the sand dune vegetation has is it has strong roots. The roots hold the sand particles from drifting away. It stops the erosion. They also act as windbreak, and it traps the deposited sand particles together, and thus the stabilizing of the sand dune takes place. And on this stabilized sand dune, the vegetation will grow, and the succession of the plants will happen on this dune. So the primary species will be growing very low to the ground, and even if they are covered with sand, it reduces the impact of high wind conditions by the adaptations, like it has waxy or hairy outgrowths on the stem and the leaves, and that is meant to actually save water. So we have different type of species in this vegetation, and a study has been conducted by Department of Science and Technology. On the west coast of India, they have managed to record 267 species, and on the east coast of India, 163 species. When this study was carried out by Department of Science and Technology in Goa, they found 91 genera and 106 species present in Goa on our Goan coastal lands. These are some of the important species, the primary ones being Hypomia pescapre, Spinifex litorius, Cyparius arenarius, Saccharum spontaneum. These are the primary species. You also find other species on the sand dunes in Goa like Sporobolus virginicus, Dactyloctinium egyptium, Eragrotis uniloidis. You find Clerodendron inerme. This is a very common one on Goan beaches that you can see. If you go to Miramar, you see these Clerodendron inerme. Pedalium murex, Physalis minima, what we call as chipta, they also grow on the beach. Triumphata rhomboidea, Vitex trifolia, this is also one of the important species. And on the hind dune, you find the tertiary species like Calotropis gigantea and Casuarina equisetifolia, what we commonly call as Christmas trees. So these are the trees or these are the species that grow on the sand dune vegetation. Sand dune vegetation is very, very important so that our sand dunes remain stabilized and they act as natural barriers to save us from any storm or any destructive forces that might arise from the sea as the first barrier. These are the references in which you can find this information that we have just gone through. Thank you.